Welcome to Chapter 5. Keep going. It's very quiet. The light is muted. I'm comfortable and warm in this bed. I open my eyes, and for a moment, I'm tranquil and serene, enjoying the strange, unfamiliar surroundings. I have no idea where I am. The headboard behind me is in the shape of a massive sun. It's oddly familiar. The room is large and airy and plushly furnished in browns and golds and beige. I've seen it before. Where? My befuddled brain struggles through its recent visual memories. Holy crap, I'm in the Heathman Hotel, in a suite. I've stood in a room similar like this with Kate. It looks bigger though. Oh shit, I'm in Luke Theophilus' suite. How did I get here? Fractured memories of the previous night come slowly back to haunt me. The drinking. Oh no, the drinking. The phone call. Oh no, the phone call. The vomiting. Oh no, the vomiting. Jose and then Luke. Oh no, I cringe inwardly. I don't remember coming here. I'm wearing my t-shirt, bra, and panties. No socks, no jeans. Holy shit. I glance at the bedside table. On it is a glass of orange juice and 2 tablets. Advil. Control freak that he is, he thinks of everything. I sit up and take the tablets. Actually, I don't feel that bad. Probably much better than I deserve. The orange juice tastes divine. It's thirst quenching and refreshing. Nothing beats freshly squeezed orange juice for reviving an aired mouth. There's a knock at the door. My heart leaps into my mouth, and I can't seem to find my voice. He opens the door and strolls in. What the fuck is this? He better not start whispering to me. What the fuck?
Hey, how you doing?
Lindren.
Let me whisper in your ear. Tell you something that you might like to hear. Got a sexy ass body and your ass looks soft. Mind if I touch it and see if it's soft? No, I'm just playing. Let's just say I can. And I'm known to be a real nasty man. And they say a closed mouth don't get fed, so I don't mind asking for head. You heard what I said? We need to make our way to the bed. You can start using your head. You like the fuck? Have your legs open out in the butt. Do it up, slapping ass, got a sense, get it rough. Switch position and ready to get down to business, so you can see what you've been missing. You might have some, but you never had none like this. Just wait till you see my dick. Hey bitch, wait till you see my dick. Wait till you see my dick. Hey bitch, wait till you see my dick. I'ma beat that pussy up. Hey bitch.
I snap awake. Good morning, Lynn. How are you feeling? Oh no. Better than I deserve, I mumble. I peek up at him. He places a large shopping bag on a chair and grasps each end of the towel that he has around his neck. He's staring at me, gray eyes, dark, and as usual, I have no idea what he's thinking. He hides his thoughts and feelings so well. How did I get here? He comes and sits down on the edge of the bed. He's close enough for me to touch, for me to smell. Oh my, sweat and body wash and Luke. It's a great cocktail, so much better than a margarita, and now I can speak from experience. After you passed out, I didn't want to risk the leather upholstery in my car taking you all the way to your apartment, so I brought you here, he says. Did you put me to bed? Yes. Did I throw up again? No. Did you undress me? Yes. We didn't, I whisper, my mouth drying in mortified horror as I can't complete the question. I stare at my hands. Lynn, you are comatose. Necrophilia is not my thing. I like my woman sentient and receptive, he says dryly. I'm so sorry. His mouth lifts slightly in a wry smile. It was a very diverting evening. Not one that I'll forget in a while. Me neither. Oh, he's laughing at me, the bastard. I didn't ask him to come and get me. Somehow, I've been made to feel like the villain of the piece. You didn't have to track me down with whatever James Bond stuff you're developing for the highest bidder, I snap at him. He stares at me surprised and, if I'm not mistaken, a little wounded. Firstly, the technology to track cell phones is available over the internet. Secondly, my company does not invest or manufacture any kind of surveillance devices. And thirdly, if I hadn't come to get you, you'd probably be waking up in the photographer's bed, and from what I can remember, you weren't overly enthused about him pressing his suit, he says acidly. Pressing his suit? I glance up at Christian. Luke. I glance up at Luke. He's glaring at me, his gray eyes blazing, aggrieved. I try and bite my lip, but I fail to repress my laughter. Which medieval chronicle did you escape from? I giggle. You sound like a courtly knight. His mood visibly shifts. His eyes soften and his expression warms, and I see a trace of a smile on his beautifully chiseled lips. Lynn, I don't think so. Dark Knight, maybe. His smile is sardonic, and he shakes his head. Did you eat last night? His tone is accusatory. I shake my head. What major transgression have I committed now? His jaw clenches, but his face remains impassive. You need to eat. That's why you were so ill. Honestly, Len, it's drinking rule number one. He runs his hand through his hair, and I know it's because he's exasperated. Are you going to continue to scold me? Is that what I'm doing? I think so. You're lucky I'm just scolding you. What do you mean? Well, if you were mine, you wouldn't be able to sit down for a week after the stunt you pulled yesterday. You didn't eat, you got drunk, you put yourself at risk. He closes his eyes, dread etched down his lovely face, and he shudders slightly. When he opens his eyes, he glares at me. I hate to think what could have happened to you. I scowl back at him. What's his problem? What's it to him? If I was his... well, I'm not. Though maybe part of me would like to be. The thought pierces through the irritation I feel in his high-handed words. I flush at the waywardness of my subconscious. She's doing her happy dance in a bright red hula skirt at the thought of being his. I would have been fine. I was with Kate. And the photographer? He snaps at me. Young Jose. I'll need to face him at some point. Jose just got out of line, I shrug. Well, the next time he gets out of line, maybe someone should teach him some manners. You are quite the disciplinarian, I hiss at him. Oh, Lynn, you have no idea. His eyes narrow, and then he grins wickedly. It's disarming. One minute I'm confused and angry. The next I'm gazing at his gorgeous smile. Wow, I'm entranced, and it's because his smile is so rare I quite forgot what he's talking about. I'm going to have to shower. Unless you'd like to shower first. He cocks his head to one side, still grinning. My heartbeat is picked up, and my medulla oblongata has neglected to fire any synapses to make me breathe. His grin widens, and he reaches over and runs his thumb down my cheek and across my lower lip. Breathe, Lynn, he whispers and rises. Breakfast will be here in 15 minutes. You must be famished. He heads to the bathroom and closes the door. I let out the breath I've been holding. Why is he so damn attractive? Right now I want to go and join him in the shower. I've never felt this way about anyone. My hormones are racing. My skin tingles where his thumb traced over my face and lower lip. I feel like squirming with a needy, achy discomfort. I don't understand this reaction. Desire. This is desire. This is what it feels like. I lie back on the soft feather pillows. If you were mine, oh man, what would I give to be his? He's the only man who has ever set my blood racing around my body, yet he's so antagonizing too. He's difficult, complicated, and confusing. One minute he rebuffs me, the next he sends me $14,000 books, and then he tracks me like a stalker. And for all that, I've spent the night in his hotel suite, and I feel safe, protected. He cares enough to come and rescue me from a mistakenly perceived danger. He's not a dark knight at all, but a white knight in shining, dazzling armor. A classic romantic hero. Like a Lancelot. I scramble out of his bed frantically searching for my jeans. He emerges from the bathroom wet and glistening from the shower, still unshaven, with just a towel around his waist. And there I am, all bare legs and awkward gawkiness. He's surprised to see me out of bed. If you're looking for your jeans, I've sent them to the laundry. His gaze is a dark obsidian. They were spattered with your vomit. Oh, why does he always catch me on the back foot? I sent Taylor out for another pair and some shoes. They're in the bag on the chair. Clean clothes. What an unexpected bonus. I'll have a shower, I mutter. Thanks. What else can I say? I grab the bag and dart into the bathroom away from the unnerving proximity of naked Christian. Michelangelo's David has nothing on him. In the bathroom, it's all hot and steamy from where he's been showering. I strip off my clothes and quickly clamber into the shower, anxious to be under the cleansing stream of water. It cascades over me, and I hold up my face into the welcoming torrent. I want Luke Theophilus. I want him badly. Simple fact. For the first time in my life, I want to go to bed with a man. I want to feel his hands and mouth on me. Ah, God. He says he likes his women sentient. He's probably not celibate then, but he's not made a pass at me, unlike Paul or Jose. I don't understand. Does he want me? He wouldn't kiss me last week. Am I repellent to him? And yet, I'm here and he brought me here. I just don't know what his game is. What's he thinking? You've slept in his bed all night and he's not touched you, Anna. You do the math. My subconscious has reared her ugly, snide head. I ignore her. The water is warm and soothing. I could stay under this shower in this bathroom forever. I reach for the body wash and it smells of him. It's a delicious smell. I rub it all over myself, fantasizing that it's him. Him rubbing this heavenly scented soap into my body, across my breasts, over my stomach, between my thighs with his long-fingered hands. Oh my. My heartbeat picks up again. This feels so good. Breakfast is here. He knocks on the door, startling me. Okay, I stutter as I'm yanked cruelly out of my erotic daydream. I climb out of the shower and grab 2 towels. I put my hair in one and wrap it Carmen Miranda style on my head. Hastily, I dry myself, ignoring the pleasurable feel of the towel rubbing against my oversensitized skin. I inspect the bag of jeans. Not only has Taylor brought me jeans and a new Converse, but a pale blue shirt, socks, and underwear. Oh my, a clean bra and panties. Actually, to describe them in such a mundane, utilitarian way does not do them justice. They are an exquisite design of some fancy European lingerie, all blue lace and finery. Wow, I'm in awe and slightly daunted by this underwear. What's more is they fit perfectly, but of course they do. I flush to think of the buzz-cut man in some lingerie store buying this for me. I wonder what else is in this job description. I dress quickly. The rest of the clothing is a perfect fit. I briskly towel dry my hair and try desperately to bring it under control. But, as usual, it refuses to cooperate, and my only option is to restrain it with a hair tie. I shall search in my purse when I find it. I take a deep breath. Time to face Mr. Confusing. I'm relieved to find the bedroom empty. I hunt quickly for my purse, but it's not in here. Taking another deep breath, I enter the living area of the suite. It's huge. There's an opulent plush seating area, all overstuffed couches and soft cushions, and an elaborate coffee table with a stack of large glossy books, a study area with top-of-the-range Mac, and an enormous plasma TV on the wall. And Luke is sitting at a dining table on the other side of the room reading a newspaper. It's the size of a tennis court or something. Not that I play tennis, though I've watched Kate a few times. Oh, Kate! I croak. Luke peers up at me. She knows you're here and still alive. I texted Elliot, he says with a trace of humor. Oh no, I remember her fervent dancing of the night before, all of her patented moves she used with maximum effort to seduce Luke's brother, no less. What's she going to think about me here? I've never stayed out before. She's still with Elliot. She's only done this twice before, and the both times I had to endure the hideous pink PJs for a week from the fallout. She's going to think I had a one-night stand, too. Luke stares at me imperiously. He's wearing a white linen shirt, collar, and cuffs undone. Sit, he commands, pointing at a place at the table. I make my way across the room and sit down opposite him as I've been directed. The table is laden with food. I didn't know what you liked, so I ordered a selection from the breakfast menu. He gives me a crooked, apologetic smile. That's very nice of you, I murmur, bewildered by the choice, though I am hungry. Yes, it is. He sounds guilty. I opt for pancakes, maple syrup, scrambled eggs, and bacon. Luke tries to hide a smile as he returns to his egg white omelet. The food is delicious. Tea, he asks. Yes, please. He passes me a small teapot of hot water, and on the saucer is a Twinings English breakfast tea bag. Geez, he remembers how I like my tea? Your hair is very damp, he scolds. I couldn't find the hairdryer, I mutter, embarrassed, not that I looked. Luke's mouth presses into a hard line, but he doesn't say anything. Thank you for organizing the clothes. It's a pleasure, Lynn. That color suits you. I blush and stare down at my fingers. You know, you really should learn to take a compliment. His tone is castigating. I should give you some money for these clothes. He glares at me as if I've offended him on some level. I hurry on. You've already given me the books, which of course I can't accept, but these clothes, please let me pay you back. I smiled tentatively at him. Lynn, trust me, I can afford it. That's not the point. Why should you buy these for me? Because I can. His eyes flash with a wicked gleam. Just because you can doesn't mean you should, I reply quietly as he arches an eyebrow at me, his eyes twinkling, and suddenly I feel that we're talking about something else, but I don't know what that is, which reminds me. Why did you send me the books, Luke? My voice is soft. He puts his cutlery down and regards me intently, his gray eyes burning with some unfathomable emotion. Holy crap. My mouth dries. Well, you were nearly run over by the cyclist, and I was holding you and you were looking up at me. Oh, kiss me, Luke. He pauses and shrugs slightly. I felt I owed you an apology and a warning. He runs his hand through his hair. Lynn, I'm not a hearts and flowers kind of man. I don't do romance. My tastes are very singular. You should steer clear from me. He closes his eyes as if in defeat. There's something about you, though, and I'm finding it impossible to stay away. But I think you've figured that out already. My appetite vanishes. He can't stay away? Then don't, I whisper. He gasps, his eyes wide. You don't know what you're saying. Enlighten me, then. We sit gazing at each other, neither of us touching our food. You're not celibate, then? I breathe. Amusement lights up his gray eyes. No, Lynn, I'm not celibate. I'm not celibate. He pauses for this information to sink in, and I flush scarlet. The mouth-to-brain filter is broken again. I can't believe I've just said that out loud. What are your plans for the next few days? He asks, his voice low. I'm working today from midday. What's the time? I panic suddenly. It's just after 10. You've plenty of time. What about tomorrow? He has his elbows on the table and his chin is resting on his long, steepled fingers. Kate and I are going to start packing. We're moving to Seattle next weekend, and I'm working at Clayton's all this week. You have a place in Seattle already? Yes. Where? I can't remember the address. It's in the Pike Place Market District. Not far from me. His lips twitch up in a half smile. So what are you going to do for work in Seattle? Where is he going with all these questions? The Luke Theophilus Inquisition is almost as irritating as the Catherine Kavanaugh Inquisition. I've applied for internships. I'm waiting to hear. Have you applied to my company as I suggested? A flush. Of course not. No. And what's wrong with my company? Your company or your company? I smirk. He smiles slightly. Are you smirking at me, Miss Tran? He cocks his head to the side, and I think he looks amused, but it's hard to tell. I flush and glance down at my unfinished breakfast. I can't look him in the eye when he uses that tone of voice. I'd like to bite that lip, he whispers darkly. Oh my. I am completely unaware that I'm chewing on my bottom lip. My mouth pops open as I gasp and swallow at the same time. That has to be the sexiest thing anybody has ever said to me. My heartbeat spikes and I think I'm panting. Jeez, I'm quivering moist mess and he hasn't even touched me. I squirm in my seat and meet his dark glare. Why don't you? I challenge quietly. Because I'm not going to touch you, Lynn. Not until I have your written consent to do so. His lips hint at a smile. What? What does that mean? Exactly what I say. He sighs and shakes his head at me, amused but exasperated too. I need to show you, Lynn. What time do you finish work this evening? About 8. Well, we could go to Seattle this evening or next Saturday for dinner at my place, and I'll acquaint you with the facts then. The choice is yours. Why can't you tell me now? Because I'm enjoying my breakfast in your company. Once you're enlightened, you probably won't want to see me again. Holy shit, what does that mean? Does he white slave small children to some godforsaken part of the planet? Is he part of some underworld crime syndicate? It would explain why he's so rich. Is he deeply religious? Is he impotent? And surely not. He could have proved that to me right now. Oh my, I flush scarlet thinking about the possibilities. This is getting me nowhere. I'd like to solve the riddle that is Luke Theophilus sooner rather than later. If it means that whatever secret he has is so gross that I don't want him to know him anymore, then quite frankly, it'll be a relief. Don't lie to yourself, my subconscious yells at me. It'll have to be pretty bloody bad to have you running for the hills. Tonight. He raises an eyebrow. Like Eve, you're so quick to eat from the tree of knowledge, he smirks. Are you smirking at me, Mr. Theophilus? I ask sweetly. Pompous ass. He narrows his eyes at me and picks up his BlackBerry. He presses one number. Taylor, I'm going to need Charlie Tango. Charlie Tango? Who is he? From Portland at, say, 20:30. No standby at Escala all night. All night? Yes, on call tomorrow morning. I'll pilot from Portland, Seattle. Pilot? Standby pilot from 22:30. He puts his phone down. No please or thank you. Do people always do what you tell them? Usually if they want to keep their jobs, he says. And if they don't work for you? Oh, I can be very persuasive, Lynn. You should finish your breakfast, and then I'll drop you home. I'll pick you up at Clayton's at 8 when you finish. We'll fly up to Seattle. I blink at him rapidly. Fly? Yes, I have a helicopter. I gape at him. I have my second date with Luke, oh so mysterious Theophilus, from coffee to helicopter rides. Wow. We'll go by helicopter Seattle. Yes. Why? He grins wickedly. Because I can. Finish your breakfast. How can I eat now? I'm going to Seattle by helicopter with Luke Theophilus, and he wants to bite my lip. I squirm at the thought. Eat, he says more sharply. Lynn, I have an issue with wasted food. Eat. I can't eat all this. I gape at what's left on the table. Eat what's on your plate. If you'd eaten properly yesterday, you wouldn't be here, and I wouldn't be declaring my hand so soon. His mouth sets in a grim line. He looks angry. I frown and return to my now cold food. I'm not too excited to eat, Luke, don't you understand? My subconscious explains, but I'm too much of a coward to voice these thoughts aloud, especially when he looks so sullen, like a small boy. I find the thought amusing. What's so funny, he asks. I shake my head, not daring to tell him and keep my eyes on my food. Swallowing my last piece of pancake, I peek up at him. He's eyeing me speculatively. Good girl, he says. I'll take you home when you've dried your hair. I don't want you getting ill. There's some kind of unspoken promise in his words. What does he mean? I leave the table, wondering for a moment if I should ask permission, but dismissing the idea. Sounds like a dangerous precedent to set. I head back to his bedroom. A thought stops me. Where did you sleep last night? I turn to gaze at him still sitting in the dining room chair. I can't see any blankets or sheets out here. Perhaps he's had them tidied away. In my bed, he said simply, his gaze impassive again. Oh. Yes, it was quite the novelty for me, too, he smiles. Not having sex? There, I said the word. I blush, of course. No. He shakes his head and frowns as if recalling something uncomfortable. Sleeping with someone. He picks up the newspaper and continues to read. What in heaven's name does that mean? He's never slept with anyone? He's a virgin? Somehow I doubt that. I stand staring at him in disbelief. He's the most mystifying person I've ever met, and it dawns on me that I've slept with Luke Theophilus, and I kick myself. What would I have given to be conscious to watch him sleep, see him vulnerable? Somehow I find it hard to imagine. Well, allegedly, all will be revealed tonight. In his bedroom, I hunt through a chest of drawers and find the hairdryer. Using my fingers, I rub my hair the best I can. I dry my hair the best I can. When I finish, I head into the bathroom. I want to clean my teeth. I eye Luke's toothbrush. It would be like having him in my mouth. Glancing guiltily over my shoulder at the door, I feel the bristles on the toothbrush. They're damp. He must have already used it already. Grabbing it quickly, I squirt toothpaste on it and brush my teeth in double quick time. I feel so naughty. It's such a thrill. Grabbing my t-shirt, bra, and panties from yesterday, I put them in the shopping bag that Taylor brought and head back to the living area to hunt for my bag and jacket. Deep joy, there's a hair tie in my bag. Luke is watching me as I tie my hair into a ponytail, his expression unreadable. I feel his eyes follow me as I sit down and wait for him to finish. He's on his BlackBerry talking to someone. They want two? How much will that cost? Okay, and what safety measures do we have in place? And they will go via Suez? How safe is Ben Sudan? What the fuck? And when do they arrive in Darfur? What this guy's talking about, some gibberish ass shit. Okay, let's do it. Keep me abreast of the progress. He hangs up. Ready to go? I nod. I wonder what this conversation was about. He slips on a navy pinstripe jacket, picks up his car keys, and heads to the door. After you, Miss Tran, he murmurs, opening the door for me. He looks so casually elegant. I pause fractionally too long, drinking in the sight of him. And to think I slept with him last night. After all the tequila and throwing up, he's still here. What's more is he wants to take me to Seattle. Why me? I don't understand it. I head out the door recalling his words. There's something about you. Well, the feeling is entirely mutual, Mr. Theophilus, and I aim to find out what it is. We walk in silence down the corridor toward the elevator. As we wait, I peek up at him through my eyelashes, and he looks out the corner of his eyes down at me. I smile and his lips twitch. The elevator arrives, and we step in. We're alone. Suddenly, for some inexplicable reason, possibly our proximity in such an enclosed space, the atmosphere between us changes, charging with an electric, exhilarating anticipation. My breathing alters as my heart races. His head turns fractionally toward me, his eyes dark as slate. I bite my lip. Oh, fuck the paperwork, he growls. He lunges at me, pushing me against the wall of the elevator. Before I know it, he's got both of my hands and one of his in a vice-like grip above my head, and he's pinning me to the wall using his hips. Holy shit. His other hand grabs my ponytail and yanks down, bringing my face up, and his lips are on mine. It's only just not painful. I moan into his mouth, giving his tongue an opening. He takes full advantage, his tongue expertly exploring my mouth. I've never been kissed like this. My tongue tentatively strokes his and joins his in a slow erotic dance that's all about touch and sensation, all bump and grind. He brings his hand up to grasp my chin and holds me in place. I'm helpless, my hands pinned, my face held, and his hips restraining me. I feel his erection against my belly. Oh my, he wants me. Luke Theophilus, Greek god, wants me, and I want him here, now, in the elevator. You are so sweet, he murmurs, each word a staccato. The elevator stops, the door is open, he pushes away from me in the blink of an eye, leaving me hanging. 3 men in business suits look at both of us and smirk as they climb on board. My heart rate is through the roof, and I feel like I've run an uphill race. I want to lean over and grasp my knees, but it's just too obvious. I glance up at him. He looks so cool and calm, like he's been doing the Seattle Times crossword. How unfair. Is he totally unaffected by my presence? He glances at me out of the corner of his eye and gently blows out a deep breath. Oh, he's affected all right. And my very small inner goddess sways in a gentle, victorious samba. The businessmen exit on the second floor. We have one more floor to travel. You've brushed your teeth, he says, staring at me. I use your toothbrush, I breathe. His lips quirk up in a half smile. Oh, Lin Tran, what am I going to do with you? The doors open at the first floor, and he takes my hand and pulls me out. What is it about elevators, he mutters, more to himself than to me as he strides across the lobby. I struggle to keep pace with him because my wits have been thoroughly, royally scattered all over the floor and walls of Elevator 3 in the Heathman Hotel.